Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, woman accused of using white rum to set a boyfriend on fire remanded. A woman was remanded in the St. Catherine Parish Court today on allegations of using white rum to set her boyfriend on fire over infidelity. Shanika Malcolm, 30, is charged with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm. The court was told that the man suffered severe burns. It is being alleged that on the night of April 25, the boyfriend was at home in Christian Penn in Portmore when he was visited by the accused. An argument reportedly developed between them after Malcolm accused the complainant of being unfaithful. She reportedly doused him with a bottle containing white rum and allegedly used a lighter to set the complainant ablaze. He was rescued by a neighbor who poured water on him. The complainant was rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was admitted for extensive burns to the back and lower body. An investigation was conducted, which led to the arrest and the charge of the accused. Former JDF physiotherapist who killed a wife sentenced to 5 years in prison. Lieutenant Kodia Burnett, the former Jamaica Defense Force physiotherapist who stabbed his attorney-at-law wife, Nordrika, to death in December 2018, has been sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Burnett, who had been charged for murder, pleaded guilty to manslaughter on the basis of diminished responsibility when his trial began in April. A slew of medical psychiatry reports entered into evidence during the trial indicated that Burnett was first diagnosed with a mental illness in 2008, the same year he married his wife, and that he continued to decline. Jacqueline Samuels Brown, King's Counsel, attorney for the 41-year-old, in addressing trial judge Justice Dale Palmer in the Home Circuit Division of the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston, had said her client was first diagnosed with generalized anxiety depression in 2008. She said his condition deteriorated, leading to him being diagnosed with a major depressive disorder with anxious distress in January 2018. Burnett murdered his wife on December 13, 2018. Samuels Brown also pointed to an expert opinion contained in one of the reports which said Burnett experienced a further decline, leading to him being diagnosed with a schizoaffective disorder, the depressive type, and was at one point placed on suicide watch. The experienced attorney, who had argued that all the evidence points in the direction of a supervisory order, had suggested a sentence of no more than 3 years. In a detailed plea in mitigation address, Samuels Brown said an order that has not included incarceration in a prison or correctional center is the appropriate one to be made in the case. However, Senior Prosecutor Claudette Thompson, now Acting Director of Public Prosecutions, who led the evidence in the matter in making her sentencing submission, pointed out that while Burnett is an educated man, a university graduate, a professional who knew from as early as 2008 that he was suffering from a mental illness, his children are now having to face all the good and the bad, negatives and the positives, without a mother to guide them. He needs to be punished so that he will understand the consequences of action and inaction. It is a custodial sentence that the Crown is urging on this court, she said at the time. St. Thomas chef dies after gun attack. A St. Thomas chef who was shot on Wednesday in Lower York District succumbed to his injuries on Thursday. He has been identified as a 42-year-old Denry Miller of Lower York Main Road in Seaforth. About 7:10 p.m., Mr. Miller was walking along York Main Road in the vicinity of Bearsay's Repairs when he was shot in the chest. He was taken to Princess Margaret Hospital, where he died while receiving treatment. St. Elizabeth man held for assault and charged with lottery scamming. A 22-year-old man who was on Sunday arrested on 2 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm has been slapped with lottery scamming charges. He is Carrington Lewis, otherwise called Q and Joe, a farmer of New Building District in St. Elizabeth. According to the police, while being processed, Mr. Lewis handed over 2 cellular phones. However, his actions aroused the suspicion, and he was asked to unlock the devices. During a search of the phones, it was discovered that they contained the names, addresses, and other personal information of individuals living overseas. When questioned, Mr. Lewis was unable to provide a satisfactory explanation, which resulted in him being charged with lottery scamming. Mr. Lewis appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court on Tuesday and was offered bail in the sum of $250,000 with a surety. He is to report to the Nain Police once weekly and surrender all his travel documents. Mr. Lewis is scheduled to return to court on June 6. Universal Service Fund CEO Dr. Daniel Dawes has died. Dr. Daniel Dawes, Chief Executive Officer of the state-run Universal Service Fund, has died. He was found unresponsive at his home in St. Andrew on Friday. Dr. Dawes was appointed USF CEO in January 2019. He previously served as the Managing Director of the Transport Authority and as a Chief Food Inspector at the Ministry of Health. Dr. Dawes is a former lecturer at the University of the West Indies Global Campus, formerly known as the Open Campus. Telecommunications Minister Darrell Vaz has expressed sadness at the sudden passing of Dr. Dawes. Mr. Vaz said he is still in shock at the news of his death, describing him as a man with a greater presence who was dedicated to his work. He said Dr. Dawes was known for his exceptional contributions to advancing technological innovations and improving connectivity while ensuring an equitable digital environment across the island. The minister has extended condolences to Dr. Dawes' family, friends, and colleagues during this time. Police Commissioner sends a strong warning to criminals. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake is warning criminals that they will be targeted through various operations. Dr. Blake says that the actions of individuals who try to instill fear in communities will not be tolerated. He says that the security forces have been mobilized to take action against such individuals.
We will not stand by while we wreak havoc and create mayhem. We have identified several individuals as wanted for criminal offenses. Additionally, we have published a list of persons of interest who we believe can assist us in our ongoing investigations. To those individuals, we urge you to make the process easier by reporting to a police facility. You may be accompanied by an attorney, a justice of the peace, a member of the clergy, or even a friend. However, understand this: if you do not come to us, we will come for you. This is not a matter to take lightly. The safety and security of our citizens are paramount, and we will maintain order and uphold the law. To the law-abiding citizens, we ask for your continued support and cooperation. Together, we can build a safer and more secure Jamaica.
Ex-worker charged for St. Catherine Courthouse fire to serve over 10 years in prison. The court worker who was charged for setting fire to the St. Catherine Parish Court administrative building following a break-in is to serve 10.5 years in prison. Romario Keith Gopal pleaded guilty to arson, office break-in, and larceny. In handing down sentencing in the St. Catherine Circuit Court today, Justice Bertram Morrison remarked that as someone who worked at the court, Gopal should have known better. Your action crippled the system and deprived the public who seek justice. The sentence must discourage others of like mind, Morrison said. He was given 10.5 years for arson and 4.5 years for office break-in and larceny. The sentences are to run concurrently. During sentencing, attorney-at-law Esther Reed told the court that her client acted out of fear. This is a case where Mr. Gopal wasted no time and admitted that he committed the offenses. Therefore, he should benefit from the mitigating circumstances, Reed said. She told the court that at the time of the incident, her client was under duress and acted out of fear for his life and that of his family. She told the court that he was put up to the act by 2 gang members to steal from the court's office. The court was told that the gangsters showed him a gun and that they threatened to kill him and his family. Facts of the case are that on July 24, 2022, fire was observed coming from the court offices in Emancipation Square, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. The fire brigade was summoned, and upon arrival, it was discovered that the Civil Litigation Office was set ablaze. Police were later called to the scene, and the investigation revealed that the office was broken into and the safe with the money forced open and the cash stolen. The police said evidence suggested that the culprit set the place ablaze to cover the crime. A thorough investigation was conducted, and Gopal was arrested and subsequently charged.